Good evening, guys, and happy Tuesday to all of your sunshiny faces. So guys, I just actually I already took a shower and I'm going to get ready for bed now. I actually think I'm going to set my planner up before I go to bed because I actually got a ton of stuff done, and I like to see my progress and feel like I'm getting things done instead of just being like, oh, I felt like I got a lot of done that day, or like then maybe not getting as much done the next day and being like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I slacked this whole week. I can be like, you know what, no, it was really just one day, and not feel bad. And then sometimes I tend to get into a rut when I'm like that too, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I got nothing done this week, you know, or like, oh, I didn't stay on top of stuff like I wanted to, you know, and then just like be like, you know, feel really bad about it, and then just sort of shut down sometimes and be like, now I don't feel like doing anything, and just get totally distracted and not, like I said, get to any of the stuff that I need to. So I edited today. I edited later in the afternoon. I woke up at actually a decent time. I think I got up around 9 something or 10 o'clock, which honestly yesterday I don't know why, because I went to bed early the night before on Sunday night, and the only thing was on Sunday I was outside a lot, but I wasn't doing a lot of like physical, you know, like, you know, the reason that I'd be tired other than I was outside in the sun a lot, and it was hot on Sunday, like really hot, and so like that's the only thing I can think of, is that maybe I was just tired from, like I said, being out in the heat and stuff like that. So that's why I slept a lot on Sunday night into Monday, but other than that, I woke up really late. Like I woke up at like 11 or something like that, and I was like, I asked my dad too, I was like, can you get me up early so we can try and get to stuff? But luckily on Monday yesterday we didn't have that much to get to, but today, like I said, I actually woke up a little bit earlier than I thought I was going to. So I'm still going to bed early. It's only 11:45 right now, so I should be, like I say, able to get to bed somewhat early. But I woke up this morning, ended up I did dishes while I made my breakfast, and and then later, after I was finished with that, me and Jack actually, because didn't need my dad to finish this project, we were able to do this all on our own. You guys might have seen sometimes if I showed like pictures of when it's thunderstorming outside through the front door, like the snow and stuff like that, we have a little like pillar type thing. My mom always calls it a ladder, and that's sort of what it looks like, but it's sort of like a post that helps, not, I mean, I don't know how much it's that actual physical support either. I'm gonna just keep using air quotes here. Like how much it's an actual support for the roof, but like on our porch it comes into the house, like there's a little, you know, space with the stoop, and it's like a couple of, you know, maybe a couple feet, like 3 feet or something like that stoop, and because of that, where the roof actually is, you know, it hangs over that part, so there's this little like support, or sort of support looking thing that sort of is right there, and it looks sort of like a ladder, and like a tiny little one though. I mean, it's not like a real ladder, but it just, like I said, it's a support, but it's made out of metal, and since we've lived here, we've never done anything with it. My mom and dad always thought it looked horribly ugly and have wanted to get rid of it literally since they moved in, or not even get rid of it, but just cover it over like with wood. Obviously, again though, guys, wood is so expensive right now, so that's not something that we can really get done this year either. However, I was like, guys, honestly, it is rusting. Nobody's ever spray painted it even or anything like that this entire time that we've lived here in 20 years. I mean, it looked horrible, and on top of that too, it like totally messes with your curb appeal. We have all these beautiful flowers and hanging baskets, and we got that little arbor put up, you know, with our rose bush, and like it looks so nice, and that thing is like the worst eyesore next to the front door, which color is fading horribly on, so that also stands out like a sore thumb. So like those two things together, just like I said, curb appeal just is like completely down. So I was like, I was like, why don't we just get some gray spray paint, literally the exact same color. It's like $4 at Menards. We just get some of that, spray paint it, and save it for a little bit, just make it look a little bit nicer so it doesn't look like a rusty, horrible mess. So that's what me and Jack ended up doing today. There was also too, my dad decided to mount the flag pole, like, you know, the flag pole sort of thing, to that, which we have it right now, we have it on the other side of our house, but it's next to our forsythia bush, and whenever the flag, we just have like a little decorative yard flag out there, but whenever it blows, it always winds up getting stuck in the bush. So my dad wanted to move it to the other side, but that was sort of in the way a little bit, but also too, he put it on that pole thing, like the ladder, so he hung it in between like one of the rungs of the ladder, and it looked really bad. And so I took that off today, which I was having trouble with because it was sort of rusted on there too, but I couldn't get it entirely, and like I tried to do it on Saturday to try to take it down, and I couldn't get it, and I asked my dad, and I didn't realize I didn't remind him again to try and take it down, or if he could just like cut it with like, you know, like a like screw cutter thing, whatever that's called, the bandsaw, I think that is, he could probably have done it with. But finally I ended up getting, because my dad put like a nut on one side and it was a screw, but the screw was way too far in, so like the nut kept spinning and it was sort of a pain. Finally I ended up getting it like a little while later, and then I had Jack sand the whole thing down, so we just used some regular like sanding sponges, got the whole thing sanded, and it was nice. And then we ended up spray painting it, and we ended up being smart, guys. We got a package from, I don't know, Amazon or something like that, but it was sort of like in like a long like box sort of thing, but when I cut it, it like unfolded. It wasn't really like a box, it was sort of like just like cardboard, I guess, sort of. Like it wasn't like an actual box, but so when I cut through it, I was able to actually like undo it, and so Jack held it while I was spray painting so it wasn't blowing all over everything on the deck. So we were smart about that. However, I didn't really think like the top of, you know, the part where it meets the actual roof, so there was a tiny little bit of spray paint there, and also too on the bottom, which I also should have thought to have like put newspaper down, because obviously too it would drip at some point. I actually scrubbed that off, but I feel like it coming off of the roof, which was just sort of like the siding, it will come off. And again, it's not, because it's actually gray and we spray painted it gray, it's a little bit of a different color, but it's actually not that noticeable. It's more noticeable actually on the sidewalk. So I actually scrubbed that off, and most of it came off except for right at the bottom of it, the base, because I couldn't get the scrub brush in there, but it actually almost all came up, so it was like hardly noticeable. But we got that done today, so that thing now does not look like a horrible eyesore. The front door does, and that's one of the things that we have for next week, is that we're going to get a can of outdoor paint so that we can paint the door. We're just going to paint it white, but it was always been this really ugly red that never matched our red siding or red brick. There was 3 different reds going on in the front of our house, and then gray siding along with our door, which was also red and had white trim. The white trim is now completely yellow because it has faded so much and like gotten like sun stained sort of, or bleached or whatever, but it's turned yellow, and it looks like, you know, the way plastic does if it sits out in the sun for too long. It looks like that, and it looks really ugly. So I guess we have all these weird colors going on, but now that that thing is painted, it actually looks really nice because it sort of matches the gray that it was originally, that and it was the closest color I could sort of get it to match, and it matches, like I said, the actual siding that we have also. But again, we're just gonna paint the door just plain white, which all of our trim is done in white anyway, so I feel like the door won't stand out like a sore thumb either, like we're adding another 5th color in there, you know, sort of thing. So and that will reduce the red, the other awkward red and yellow that is now on the front of our house. So we can update that curb appeal a little bit, make the front of the house look a little nicer. My mom has some other things too, like she's gonna get a new mailbox. She ordered a new light fixture too, which she wanted to do like a nice pretty sort of hanging one, but realizing that we were going to get our like screen storm door, we're going to get a new one for that, and we realized that we can't do that if we get one that's too long, so we have to keep it about the same height as the old one. The old one looks like it is from like the 50s or 60s or something like that, but it's actually sort of weird because there was something else that was there, and you can tell it was like a square, and you can tell because it's actually sort of like faded on the siding on the roof parts, like, you know, where the light fixture is and like the ceiling, and it was like a square, and you can tell there was something else there, and now there's a circle one. So I don't know how long ago, obviously since we've moved in it's been that awkward circle ugly. Like I said, it's totally outdated. Like it's not even nice and like looks vintage or anything like that. It's also rusting and looks nasty and needs to be replaced. So we found this cute little one. My mom sort of wants to go with like a little farmhouse sort of look for out in front. And then on top of that too, she also wants to get shutters for our big front picture window as well. So to sort of just makes everything look a little bit nicer right now. That's what we want to do, along with we want to redo the siding, but again, that's a big money project thing that has to be sort of planned for. But all the siding needs to be replaced as well, especially in the back of the house, because it has got really bad where it's actually starting to come up off of the house, which is not good. So we, like I said, need to replace all of the siding as well. So, the dog just got freaked out because he heard the air conditioner kick on. He's still not used to it, and I feel so bad because it's like something making noise outside, and it's right outside my window, like versus like the furnace where like he was totally freaked out, like barked at it and stuff like that. But once he realized like, oh, it's no threat, like he was totally fine with it. But the fact that it's making noise outside the house, I think he's like, intruder. And then he's like, wait, what is that? And then he like chills out, and he knows that I'm talking about him right now. So he's staring at me, giving me this really awkward stare, Charles. So anyways, yeah guys, but like I said, didn't need my dad for that project. Me and Jack were able to get it all done and taken care of, and it looks, like I said, really nice. And that was one of the things that I forgot to even put down for like a next week project sort of thing, even though we got the spray paint, and I wanted to do it this week, but I was gonna do it on a Saturday, and it was downpouring on Saturday, and the thing got wet, and so it was too hard to sand while it was still soaking wet. So that's why I didn't end up doing it then, and then forgot about it over the rest of the weekend. And I never wrote it down either for like something to do, you know, extra. But so I did that during the day, and my dad ended up actually reorganizing the garage, because when we ended up putting the new light in behind the garage, we had to move all the stuff out so we could get to it. So my dad put everything back. There's so much room in the garage right now, guys. It's so nice. Everything's organized. We have all the pegboard up, which we had, but it was sort of in weird places and stuff was blocking it. So now it's like you can get to all of it. It's so nice right now, guys, the garage too. So my dad spent the day doing that. Like I said, I got to a second load of dishes when I made dinner tonight. For myself, and I also made dinner for everybody else, and I think we're gonna do BLTs. My mom's been really wanting BLTs. I think we're gonna do BLTs for dinner tomorrow. I think I have a package of bacon in the fridge, so I think that's what we are going to do. And she's been really wanting to use like she's like, oh, I'll set out some tomatoes so they're really nice and ripe and juicy. So she set tomatoes that I bought at the grocery store out on the windowsill for the last 2 days, and has been begging me to make BLTs for that reason. So yeah guys. Anyways, that has been my day. I had some of those, I think it's the Dr. Prager's sliders, whatever it was. I got those from Jewel for like 50 cents after that I bought a rebate, and they were really good. They tasted sort of like the Beyond Burger, like the meat portion did. The buns, which it comes with buns, it comes with 2 little sliders, and it's like a bun with a patty, or like, you know, top and bottom bun in the patty. And then I added Dijon mustard and tomato to mine as well. Really good. It's like a whole grain bread, I think, or something like that, whole wheat bread. So it's a little like monotonous tasting after a little while because it was like so much bun, and the patty wasn't like huge or anything like that. But like honestly, like I totally would eat them again, and I'm happy because I think I got 3 of them or something like that. But I had like a late lunch, and I didn't want something huge for dinner, so I had that and a couple little other like snack things too, and snacked on some stuff also. So that's what I ended up having for dinner. But while I was doing that, I did a second load of dishes, because like today, which normally on Mondays I try and do like my catch-up days, like get dishes, laundry done from over the weekend, because again, if I'm like outside all day and don't get a chance to like get a load of dishes done, then sometimes I'm sort of backed up after that. But because even yesterday too, like my dad was home, so we ended up, you know, I didn't have a lot of time to get that stuff done, and today I did, so I caught up with that. And I'm gonna try and get caught up with laundry tomorrow, but I also edited today, which is why I want to make sure I get to my planner so that I can, you know, again, again, get to, you know, see and be like, I got all this stuff done. That's really awesome. And then again, too, my own project that me and Jack were able to get done by ourselves. Trying to figure out, too, if there's like little projects that like me and Jack, or, you know, again, like my, you know, when my dad's not here, like what is something, even again, a super small little thing that, you know, we can just do, or something that's easy, even if it's not super small or short project or whatever, but something that we can do, or get something started to, like, okay, my dad's gonna be home from work, maybe we can just, you know, if we get all the stuff set up, then, you know, when he comes home, maybe we can do XYZ project, and it's not gonna take that long. But tomorrow I definitely need to get the freezer dinners made. I got those beef patties. I got like, I think it was like a 12 pack at Valley Produce. They were like 99 cents a patty, and I'm gonna freeze those, do 3 packages of hamburgers of those, and then also do a package. I've got 2 packages of boneless skinless chicken thighs, and I'm going to do 2 or 3 actually things of ginger peach chicken. The thing is, I don't have the peaches, frozen peaches from Aldi. They didn't have any. So I'm gonna make that without the peaches. And I actually, when I've made it before and I add the peaches when I cook, you know, first throw it in the slow cooker, the peaches are like nothing but just completely soggy, and like they're not even like peaches anymore. They're just completely disintegrated in with the chicken, sort of. So I think I'm going to actually add them later, so I don't mind adding them to like the bag like later and like in a separate Ziploc. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So like they didn't have them this week, I'm going to check to see if they have them next week, or they might not just have it at our Aldi. We might have to go to the other one. So yeah, guys, that I need to do that tomorrow, and also to get the fridge a little organized because it's been a little out of control lately, and cut up some produce and that kind of stuff too. So I think that's what I'm going to wind up doing tomorrow, make that sort of my project of things that need to get done, other than just my normal like dishes, laundry, editing, and uploading, sort of, you know, everyday stuff that I get to. But I always I like to throw in that like one extra thing, you know, sort of, that's like, oh, I get this, you know, I'll get this done, or I'll get that done, or something like that, just so that I have like, again, an extra little thing sort of that I can, you know, get done or do, or just again feel accomplished for the day, getting extra stuff done. So anyways, guys, I will see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.